Well, thank you, Madam Chairman, and welcome, Administrator Fox. I was so pleased to hear Senator Kramer compliment you on the relationship that you formed with problem solving in North Dakota, and I'm hoping you can help me similarly with a couple issues I have today that I'd like to discuss with you about sanitary survey results. My office has heard repeatedly from constituents that are frustrated with delays from the EPA on sanitary survey results. I have close to a dozen towns or small water systems that have waited some as long as 26 months to get survey results that were conducted in the summer of 2020. These delays make it really difficult for these communities because some are getting results not long before a new survey is required. So can you commit to getting the survey results out within better time frames? Ideally, it would be 60 days after completion, but these surveys take a long time for these communities to fill out, especially small water systems. And then there's this huge delay, and they need the feedback sooner because as soon as they get these results, they're plowing into another survey.
Well, thank you so much for making me aware of this issue. And yes, you have my commitment that I will personally look into the 12 water systems that you mentioned that are waiting. I mean, the sanitary survey, you're right, Senator, it's a very important tool that states and local water systems, the EPA, utilize. And local water systems need that information in order to make key operational maintenance management decisions. So yes, I will commit to looking into the situation with these 12, as well as just looking more broadly into the timeline that for returning that information.
Thanks very much. I really do appreciate that. I also have another question about the topic of sanitary surveys. Madam Chairman, I'd like to enter into the record a letter asking unanimous consent to enter into the record a letter to Administrator Regan dated January 25th, 2023, concerning the EPA's memorandum to state drinking water administrators on public water systems cyber security.
Without objection.
Thank you. So this letter addresses the EPA's plan to add cybersecurity requirements to the sanitary survey program. Now, we all agree that cybersecurity is incredibly important for water systems, but it is doing it as part of the sanitary survey program that has raised issues. The organizations that signed the letter I just entered into the record have called that plan ill-advised, impractical, and not designed to meaningfully improve system resiliency. EPA's approach is also legally flawed. That's what the letter says. And then they go on to ask for the EPA to recall the memorandum. The signatories to that letter include the American Water Works Association, National Association of Clean Water Agencies, National Rural Water Association, U.S. Conference of Mayors, National Association of Counties, and others. So obviously this has received a lot of review from local governance, and they're concerned about just using the this survey as the source for gathering that information. Can you talk about what outreach was done concerning this memorandum?
Yes, I'm happy to do that. So, Senator, you're absolutely right that cybersecurity threats to water systems, it's a growing concern. It's happening with more frequency. There are bad actors out there, and this is a significant vulnerability to our water systems. We believe that in order to protect our water systems from cyber threats, we have to take a multifaceted approach, and that's exactly what we have been doing at EPA. For example, we've been encouraging water systems to consider using SRF funds to do those cybersecurity upgrades. In the President's budget, he's requested an additional resources for a grant program to help water systems get in compliance. We do many, many trainings and resources that are out there all the time. We feel that this implementation memo that I recently issued is also a critical part of the solution. The sanitary survey is really the primary tool by which a state can really assess the operational capacities of a local water system. And given the critical nature of having good cybersecurity practices, we felt that this needed to be, in this modern age, one of the operational considerations that states look at in these surveys. And we had a very robust process. We actually, ASDWA, the Association of State Drinking Water Administrators, we had a work group process with them. They reviewed the memo. We had many, many consultations all along the way. And we're not just issuing a memo without support. There's a whole series of resources that are being developed, key questions that can easily be added by the state to the sanitary survey. So we think this is very doable, very achievable, a good key step forward to protect our water systems from cyber threats, which again are growing.
Well, and I would encourage you, because of the letter that was addressed to Director Regan, to have more conversations with the local implementers, because it's a pretty broad association of locals that are saying the sanitary survey program is just the wrong tool to have this dialogue. So clearly there's some sort of disconnect going on between the local implementers and EPA on this, and so I'd ask for your careful reconsideration, or at least extending your dialogue with those folks. My time is up, Madam Chairman, and I'll submit a question about drinking water loss in municipal systems due to faulty and leaky infrastructure, and just ask for a response in writing. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Senator.
Senator Lummis, thank you for those